So I'm Jim Irvine and I'm a kindergarten teacher from Melbourne in Australia. I wanted to see Africa and I wanted to see Ghana, and I knew that if I just went as a tourist I wouldn't see as many cool things and I wouldn't meet as many cool people, and I thought if I came as a volunteer group then I would meet more interesting people, I would get to do more interesting things that other regular tourists might not get to do. I chose uVolunteer because I went on the Lonely Planet forums on the internet and uVolunteer was really highly recommended. Yeah, everyone was talking well about it, and it seemed like a nice, small, safe organisation that looked after you, but wasn't too big, and it was also not too expensive, which was good.
So with a V, you put your lips together to make a sound. With a D, you keep your lips open, you put your tongue on the roof of your mouth.
Arrival was very intense. It's pretty crazy to come into like Accra Airport in the middle of the afternoon. There's like lots of people around and you're trying to figure out which forms you need and which forms you don't need, and if you've got your passport and getting your fingerprints checked. But it was good once I met Nat and Annette at the gate. They were very easy to find. They just had a big piece of paper that had my name on it. And then we drove out of Accra and drove to Koforidua, and then yeah, it was fine. We got up in the morning and then we had about an hour session kind of discussing Ghanaian culture and the project that I do, and I learned a bit of basic Chi, so I learned how to say like thank you and how are you, what's your name, that kind of stuff. And then we walked into town, which was good. We walked into Koforidua, they pointed out some landmarks, we kind of got a feel for the town, met some people and had some fried yams, which were really nice, on the side of the road. And then we had lunch. We had fufu. I tried fufu for the first time, which was really good. I had it with grass cutter, which is like this kind of like cane wrap. But it was really tasty. It was surprisingly tasty, yeah. It was good. It was a good way to jump headfirst into the country. I did 2 projects while I was here. I did the Orphanage project for a month, and then I did the National Park project. I worked in Kakum for 2 weeks, which was really good. So the first 2 weeks was just normal teaching. I really enjoyed that. I came in, I taught class 3, which was really good, and it was exam time, so we did a lot of revision type stuff. We did a lot of grammar. I kind of looked at their books, figured out where they were, and then taught from there.
Well done. That was really good. What else are they got? Oh, pig!
There's no curriculum or anything. The teacher doesn't really tell you what to teach. You kind of just come in and you just have to figure out yourself, okay, I'm going to teach this. It seems like they need this. And it was good because it was exam time, so I didn't get to see the exams beforehand, but I could figure out, okay, they kind of need to know this kind of stuff. So we just did a lot of revision, and then we did a lot of fun stuff as well.
Oh!
After the 2 weeks of normal teaching, we did the camp, which was incredibly fun. It was 2 of the best weeks of my life. Had a really good time. The first week we were working with a community centre, so we'd come in early in the morning. We were split up into groups of 2, so we each had a class. So we taught a lot of English in the morning and a lot of very basic stuff because their English wasn't great there. And then in the afternoon, we had lunch. We always had a really nice lunch. And then in the afternoon we did really fun activities, a lot of sport. So we did things like tug of war, we did a bucket relay where you had to fill a bucket with sponges and stuff like that. We had a really good football tournament, which was really fun. So all the teams played off against each other, and then in the grand final, whichever team won got to play against the volunteers. And it was an intense match. They're very, very good at football here. They take it really seriously. Yeah, it was really enjoyable. After that, I spent 2 weeks in Kakum National Park. It was really good. It was very different. It was a lot of, I walked around with a lot of tour guides and kind of learnt how to give tours of the park, and I learnt a lot about the different kinds of trees, the different kinds of animals that live in the park, how to direct people on the canopy walkway, which is what Kakum is really famous for. For the first month I was living in Koforidua in the dorms, and they're really comfortable. There was very big bedrooms, every bedroom has a fan, nice big bed, nice sheets. There was running water, which was nice. They're cold showers, but it's so hot that you don't want a hot shower. You need a cold shower, it's very refreshing. There's wireless internet, which is really good. It's really handy to keep in touch with friends back home. And the food's incredible. Naomi is the housekeeper and her cooking is amazing. That was like one of the, every time we went traveling, that was like one of the things we all really missed. Naomi's cooking. The food's incredible. You can do independent travel, so the first weekend I just went by myself to Accra just to check it out, which was good. It was nice to get a feel for the country and a feel for Accra, not just the airport. But we also got the chance to, as a volunteer group, do 2 big trips. So one big trip, we spent a weekend, we went all the way up to Mole National Park, and we spent a night in Kumasi as well, which was really good. And that was amazing. We got to see elephants, we got to go on a big safari, 2 big safaris. We did a walking safari and then a driving safari. And then the next weekend we travelled up to Cape Coast. So we got to see the castle, we got to hang out on the beach for a bit. And we also went to Kakum National Park. So this was before I started my project. We did the big canopy walk and got a bit of a tour around the park. My first trip, especially if you're doing a national park project, bring long trousers and big hiking boots and long socks that you can tuck your trousers into, because soldier ants will be your worst enemy out there, and if they get into your pants, you pretty much have to just strip off before you can get them all out. They're the worst. You'll hate them, especially if you go walking at night. Another tip would be definitely if you're going to be teaching, especially if it's the normal session and not like a camp or something, bring a whiteboard marker. Because I found when I was teaching in my class, one of the hardest things was just finding a whiteboard marker that worked. And even then, stuff like bring pencils, bring chalk, you're not going to find all the resources that you would just find at a normal school. And my third tip, in the dorms there's a bunch of kids that live out the back, and I would definitely recommend going out straight away and meeting them, because they'll be some of your best friends while you're here.